Good morning, Taiwan, and thank you for sharing your day with us. I am Louisa here to keep you informed and entertained. 欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新最有趣的新闻。In Nigeria, a wave of demonstrations has been triggered, with thousands of angry citizens protesting against the removal of a fuel subsidy, which is believed by some to be the only benefit they obtain from living in an oil-rich nation. Nigeria 政府为了进行 economy 改革，取消国内的汽油补助，结果汽油价格瞬间飙涨超过2倍，引起人民抗议。
The government ended its fuel subsidy on Sunday, doubling the cost of a liter of gasoline from 65 naira to 141 naira, which is around 40 cents to 86 cents. The end of subsidy is announced as part of sweeping economic reforms designed to improve fiscal discipline in Africa's biggest oil producer. However, for impoverished citizens who live on less than $2 a day, doubling the fuel price has made their life more difficult. Many people have stopped cars from moving in order to save cost, while many people accuse the government for bringing the hike abruptly by sacrificing poor citizens, while government officials still have huge salaries. In response to people's outcry, Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan's government says that it believes the removal of fuel subsidy would have a positive impact on the country's economy. Nigeria has been relying on imported fuel because it has no functional refineries, despite the fact that Nigeria is one of Africa's largest oil producers. The government said that the money saved will be used to invest elsewhere, such as refineries. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, the country used $16 billion of its foreign reserves on imported fuel in the first 11 months of last year. Half of it sold by the bank to petroleum importers, while the other half is spent by the Treasury on fuel subsidy.
And in the U.S., by just 8 votes, the results could have been the other way around. Mitt Romney claimed a narrow victory over Rick Santorum in the Iowa caucuses, winning the first contest for the Republican presidential nomination. 美国的总统大选也已经起跑了，共和党在 Iowa 的初选由 Mitt Romney 胜出，现在的声势非常的高。
Thanks, you guys.
Mitt Romney celebrates the narrowest of victories. Final results from the Republican Party's first nominating contest in Iowa saw Romney finish first by just 8 votes. The result solidifies his position as the frontrunner to challenge President Barack Obama in November's elections. Senator Rick Santorum came in second.
But I can report, with 1,770 precincts reporting, Governor Mitt Romney received 30,015 votes. Senator Rick Santorum received 30,007 votes. Congratulations to Governor Mitt Romney, winner of the 2012 Iowa caucuses. Congratulations to Senator Santorum for a very close second-place finish in an excellent race here.
Until recently, Santorum had not been considered among the leaders in the race, but his strong showing in Iowa makes him the latest candidate to gain on Romney. Texas Congressman Ron Paul came in third place, 4% behind the leading pair.
And now to lighter news. A Chinese company is looking to sell a remarkably realistic 12-inch Steve Jobs action figure for $99 starting next month. And if you're the fan of the Apple founder and tech wizard who passed away in October, then you may be on the search engine looking it up as we speak. 大陆一家公司推出 Steve Jobs 的公仔，跟本人非常的像，不过因为没有取得授权，能不能把这个公仔带回家，可能还要再看看。
Expect the figurine to be wearing Jobs' standard uniform, which includes glasses, black turtleneck, sweater, jeans, and New Balance sneakers. You can also pay extra for additional accessories and backdrops. But don't be overly hyped because there is a chance that the unauthorized replica of the late Jobs may not be available for a long time. Apple has taken action against another Chinese company in the past, which has made a bubble-headed version of Jobs. So don't be too surprised if Incons is forced to take it off the market soon.
And you you gotta give it to them. They actually did a pretty good job at making that toy. Now to entertainment news, a show you can't afford to miss, even if it means traveling to Europe. Cirque du Soleil is introducing their fantasy world in several European cities, and they're taking it as far as showcasing their newest one at the Kremlin Palace Theater in Moscow. 知名的太阳马戏团第一次到 Russia 演出，推出他们的经典作品，而且还融合了俄罗斯杂耍。
One of the longest-running Cirque du Soleil shows was recently introduced for the first time in key Russian cities as the Canadian company tries to expand its presence in Russia, arguably the circus capital of the world. After touring in Kazan, Moscow, and St. Petersburg, the classic show, Saltimbanco, is currently being performed in several Eastern and Central European countries, including Poland, Sweden, Bulgaria, and Romania. The 1992 show, which literally means to jump on a bench, is a vibrant, colorful acrobatic spectacle accompanied by live music, and is now performed in arenas instead of inside the big top tent that houses many of its traveling shows. Inspired by the urban fabric of the metropolis and its colorful inhabitants, the show weaves gymnasts, clowns, and contortionists in upbeat choreography and has performed in more than 200 cities since to more than 12 million people worldwide.
This show in particular is really eclectic, so it's based on very many different styles, musically, costume-wise, choreographically, and especially in the character work.
Audiences will also be able to see some Russian influence in the classic yet new performance.
We try to emulate the very high standards. Obviously, the Russian circus is known around the world, and many of the elements or the techniques that are used and that have been used traditionally in Russian circus obviously have carried over to other circuses around the world, and we have taken on, obviously, many of those traditions and high standards.
In addition to presenting Saltimbanco to Russian audience, Cirque du Soleil also plans a world premiere of its newest show, Zarkana, in February at the Kremlin State Palace Theater.
And Canadian rock band Nickelback are back to make a statement with their 7th studio album Here and Now, and they are looking to stand strong at the top position for a good stint. 摇滚乐团 Nickelback 推出了他们的第7张专辑，接着就带你一起来听听他们的新歌 When We Stand Together。
This is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am. It's not like you to say sorry. I was waiting on a different story. I'd fight for you. I'd lie. It's true. Give my life for you. You know I always come for you.
Back-to-back powerful hits. As one of the most commercially successful Canadian groups, Nickelback have sold more than 50 million albums worldwide, and now they have returned with their 7th album, Here and Now, which immediately topped the Billboard charts in its first week of sales. And fans from all corners of the world are also loving it, with Here and Now claiming the #1 position in the UK, as well as in Japan, Australia, and their homeland, Canada. Lead vocalist and guitarist Chad Kroeger said that their lead single, When We Stand Together, is inspired by the idea of making the world a better place. With curly or straight locks, we know we won't be left disappointed by Chad and his crew, which includes Chad's brother Mike, Ryan Peake, and Daniel Adair. And stick to Chad's advice if you are in a band. Make sure you really like your members, because it's going to be a long, bumpy, and hopefully a great ride.
And that's it for this edition. I am Louisa Lee, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Meanwhile, stay with CTS to get the latest weather update and for more news you need.